Hello, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. Welcome to another Demystify the Divine weekly readings and tools to connect. So grateful to have you all here and happy, well, it's still happy spring, but it feels like summer. I feel like our weather has gotten nicer and I've had some pool time and I'm loving the sun. I'm grateful for the sun. So I'm hoping you guys are too. So let's get some dishes and laundry out of the way. If you like what you see here, feel free to click subscribe and, click that bell and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I offer all sorts of fun goodies. Not only the Demystify the Divine, I also do an energy temperature check on Wednesday nights to see where things are at for the week. And I also put a bunch of different information on archangels and chakras and basically all things hoobity floob, all things metaphysical. So would love to have you join and subscribe. You can also check out me on the other social media stuff that I got. I got an Insta and I got a Facebook channel as well. Both are the Black Feather Intuitive. So would love to connect with you in those ways. All right. How is Keone today?
Keone is good today. It's not a grumpy morning for Keone. I actually went to Clean Juice last week. Since it's my birthday Wednesday, I decided to do my 3-day juice cleanse. So started today. So if I get hangry during this episode, that's why. No, I won't get hangry. I'm fine. So I'm juicing today, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then we'll take the rest of the week and see how that goes.
Oh my goodness. Well, you are daring and bold. I would definitely not choose to do any kind of cleansing before my birthday or on my birthday or after my birthday, because for me, it's all about the food and it's all about the wine. And you know what? There's just no room for detox.
You know what? It actually feels. I'm not doing the detox. I say cleanse because it's called Clean Juice, but it's a lot of good other things. It's 6 juices and it provides a lot of things. It actually feels really good. The one thing I could never do is fast.
Oh,
and the reason why I can't fast is because I grew up poor and there was a lot of times we couldn't eat. So I'm not going to purposely not eat.
Yeah, you don't want to bring that energy back into the mix for sure. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Well, and thank goodness we don't have to go through that. So I feel you. All right, guys. So, let's get to it. It's been kind of an interesting week. And I'm going to, for those of you who are just sort of tuning in new and you're not familiar with this, what I do is I tune in and I get a word or a phrase of the week. And that starts off our week and our reading time. Then I pull a tarot card and I pull an oracle card. And we also do a feather pull to get a generalized reading for the week. And then we have really super fun time with the Q&A. I was going to say pull a card, but that's not what we're doing. I've already done that. It's the Q&A. And so what the Q&A is, if you would like to go live with us, we'd love to have you live on camera or over the phone or in the chat as well. I download 2 questions that we're going to ask. We do a card pull and I give you tips and tools to be able to take that generalized message and to really be able to individualize it for you using your own cards, using your own deck. So it helps you to get a little more familiar with your deck, understanding how to receive those messages for yourself. So would love to have you on. If you'd like to join on that, please, I'm sure Keone has put something in the chat that you can click on, or you can send us an email to keoneproductions@gmail.com and just put in there to Keone that you want to join and you want to go live, and he will set you up and we'll get in there. So let's dive on in today. I'm going to close my eyes and go into my happy place. And let's see what our word or our phrase of the week is. Purposeful connections. So I'm hearing that this week it's really about making purposeful connections. And the guidance that's sort of coming through is to make every connection that you have count. So if you're the kind of person that is feeling a little tired, a little down, a little low, needing a recharge, but there's 50,000 people that are inviting you to go out and you push yourself to do it, I want to say to you, maybe rethink that a little bit just for this week, because what you're doing is you're pushing yourself past your limit, and the connections that you're making might not be purposeful. They might not be meaningful, or as meaningful or as purposeful as you would like them to be. For those of you who are going out and making connections, what I keep hearing is make each connection a purposeful connection. So, it's not wasting an opportunity to tell someone how much they mean to you, not wasting an opportunity to pass on a compliment. And that's been coming up. I think we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. That came through. So we are in that energy of, and it goes beyond kindness. It's about being thoughtful and intentional about the energy that you're sharing and the words that you are offering out into the world, because all of our words have energy, all of our connections have energy. And quite honestly, there's so much going on right now that, I don't even know what's going on in your world or your world or your world, but I can tell you right now that there's a lot of craziness and mayhem that's happening, whether it's under the surface or whether it's very, off the nose. I should say on the nose is the proper term. So you want to really be intentional about those connections that you're making, and make sure that anything that you're doing, it's going to have some level of purpose. And that purpose can be just to put a smile on someone's face. That can be, okay, we're really going to get ahead here, or we're going to find resolve to a situation that hasn't been resolved for some time. Let's be intentional about drawing some conclusions, coming to some conclusions, so that there can be freedom as we move ahead, as we move forward into our futures. But also, I want to say, this is going to sound a little bizarre, but it's like moving forward into our present. And I feel like that's really, really important, is to move forward into your present. I'm also hearing that each of us wants to, okay, this is an interesting message. Each of us wants to use the color blue this week. So colors all have a particular energy to them, a particular frequency to them. And blue, from a throat chakra perspective, from a chakra perspective, it's the throat chakra. So finding your truth, speaking your truth, learning to communicate it in a creative way. But I'm also feeling very much that the blue, the energy of blue, is going to help us to be able to recharge a little bit more, recharging our batteries a little bit more, being able to retain the recharge that we receive. So I feel like the blue is basically going to like go into your love cup and repair and fill any, sort of holes or gaps that show up in that love cup, so that you can actually feel recharged and feel the energy and have enough energy to go around and do what you need to do. So that's kind of interesting. That's slightly separate from that purposeful connections, but I feel like it's sort of tied into it, because if you're making purposeful connections, it should be fulfilling. There should be a healthy exchange of energy between both of you. So you're both getting something out of it that is positive. So using blue, so that can be wearing blue. If you have a blue crystal that you want to keep in your wallet or in your pocket or in your bra, if you have blue jewelry, that's a good way to do that. Sitting in a blue room, being by water, think blue. Bring more blue into your space. And that may sound a little crazy, but it really makes a difference, that every color has its own energy and frequency. And so if you're surrounding yourself in blue, or you're wearing blue, it's going to support you energetically. Whether you are, I want to say, fully like aware of that in that moment or not, it does make a difference, and it does shift your mood. It doesn't have to be a specific shade of blue, whatever shade of blue floats your boat. But I'm hearing that. So that's really interesting information. Okay, so today we are pulling cards. Oh, Keone?
We'll get it right in December.
We'll get it.
All right, it's time for card pulling.
All right. You know what? Being Virgo, I actually do really well with, sort of like routine, but it always takes me a while to get it into routine. Once it's in my routine, I'm good. But it just takes me a while to remember all of that. So, all right, we are pulling cards from the Light Seers tarot deck from Chris Ann. Oh, folks, this is exactly how I'm feeling today. I'm not gonna lie. So with this card coming up, yes, this is a general reading, but perhaps my energy is influencing the cards. All
Uh-oh.
right, we've got Three of Swords. Three of Swords in tarot typically is known as the card of sorrow and heartbreak. But I don't feel like we need to take it to that level. What I'm really feeling as I'm looking at this card today is, especially in relation to our purposeful connections, it's understanding that it takes two to tango, and there is energy on both sides. And then there's also the energy sort of between two people. And I want to say this is not necessarily, I'm not speaking just on from a romantic perspective. This is relationships of all kind. There's you, there's me, and then there's the relationship that we build in the center of us. So there are three entities within each relationship that you have with another. And so I feel like this week, the message that's really coming through is pay attention to your words, pay attention to your communication, pay attention to your truth, and understand and be aware that yes, it's your truth, and yes, it's important for you to speak it, but be aware that it might not reflect someone else's truth, and that words can cut. You know, I often talk about swords. Swords is the realm of air, the realm of the mind and mental energy. And I often say, you know, swords can be a weapon or they can be a tool. And if you think about swords as in the realm of the mind, swords are our thoughts. So are your thoughts hurting you, or are they helping you? Are your thoughts, the thoughts that you are expressing there to help a situation, to be a tool, to facilitate healthy connection moving forward, or healthy communication moving forward? Or are they designed to cut somebody, to be a weapon? Are you using your words from a defensive perspective? All of these things are going to, I feel like it's coming into our purview right now, because we really need to be aware. We need to be aware. I want to say it's aware of other. And that's a really important thing today, is awareness of other, awareness of our words and how our words could potentially affect another. This doesn't mean don't speak your truth. It means be aware that, you know, go have the conversation in your mind first before you actually have it out loud, to say, is this the right way that I want to put it? Is this the right way that I want to say it? Because I certainly don't want to be using my words and my thoughts as a weapon that's going to hurt someone else's heart. I want my words to be a tool to help heal the heart. Or maybe it doesn't go anywhere near the heart at all. It's clearing away the clutter that's around the heart. You know, a sword can be used to, you know, clear out the clutter of the grass and the trees. If we think about, you know, I always say, you know, the Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, when they're all out in the, you know, the medieval forest there, they have to clear paths, right? And so I feel like you want to make sure that your words are clearing a path so that clarity can be received and that there's no wounding from a heart perspective. Also, when we're talking about Three of Swords and the number three, obviously I just kind of went through, you know, yours, mine, and what we're creating in the center of it. Three is also that creation piece and that collaboration piece. So I feel like this week, especially when we're talking about purposeful connections, it's also about being intentional in interacting with someone and saying, I would like you to be more involved, or, you know, how can we get you to feel like what you have to say is important, as well as what I have to say is important, and let's, you know, sort of bring it together into the mix. So communication is heavy this week. I also want to say to you, it's about understanding, okay, I'm hearing the phrase, you know, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? And there is value in this. If you're running into conflict, and by the way, not everyone's going to have conflict. It's just being aware of communication styles, what's on your heart, what your mind is saying about what's on your heart, and then what you're sort of delivering out into the world. But the phrase, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy, is important to consider this week, especially if you are running into connections that are a little frayed or needing a little help, needing some resolution, that kind of thing. Because it's not about hiding your truth, but it is about recognizing when it's worth the investment to air out your grievances, or whether it's more advantageous for you on an energetic level to simply wash your hands of it and move along. Move on. I'm not worrying about this. I'm letting it go and I'm moving forward. Because at the end of the day, sometimes it's not about the resolve that you get between two people. Sometimes it's the resolve that you choose when you're running into a situation with someone that you're having difficulty working with. There are people in our lives that choose not to engage, and choose not to interact and work towards resolution. And those are the kinds of people that want to be right, but not happy, right? So I want to say this week, it's choose what side of the fence you're on with that, and recognize that sometimes when we let go and move forward, we recognize that, oh, that's the freedom that I've wanted all along. That's what really matters and what's really important. And my energy, my time is more important to me than anything else in relation to, whatever's sort of transpiring. So you're releasing the heartache and the heartbreak that potentially can come out of a situation where you are seeking resolution and not able to get it because you're connecting to another person who's not willing to give it. Some people, it's all ego, and they know you want resolve, so they hold back and they choose not to give that to you because it's vying for a position of power. So take your power back. It doesn't have to be heartache and heartbreak for you. It can really be resolve, and you can bring yourself that resolve. You can bring another person resolve. And we can do this all. We can do this all by speaking our truth in a gentle, loving way, and recognizing that our words, our thoughts and our words matter. And that's been a message that's been coming up a lot lately. In fact, I don't remember where it was because I do a lot of these things online. So I don't know where it was that I said it or exactly when, but it was recent. Our words matter. Our words count. So we're definitely in that energy. And again, I just want to say, not, because this is kind of a little bit of a Debbie Downer here, but it's not that everyone's going to have horrible experiences. It's more that we're being invited to review all of that, to review our connections. Are they purposeful? Do they have meaning? What kind of resolve do I need? And am I sacrificing my own peace for a resolve that may or may not come? Which means I need to take that resolve for myself. I need to create that resolve for myself. That is going to eliminate a lot of this heartache and heartbreak and a lot of this frustration. I mean, when you look at her, she's heartbroken, but she's also just like, I give up, right? Like, I can't do this anymore. And from a global perspective, this is where a lot of us are feeling. And anyone who's a sensitive, who's tuning in today, you're feeling it. You're feeling the war. You're feeling the upheaval in the political scene right now, with pretty much everything across the board. Every issue that is an issue is now fully at the forefront, right? So there's just a lot of heartbreak, a lot of stress, a lot of people feeling hopeless, not really sure what the next steps are, feeling like they're not being heard, they're not being represented. All of these things, of course, it's very heartbreaking. And it's because we're coming from the head on issues that really are about the heart. And so it's up to each of us individually to connect with our heart space and to be very clear and purposeful in our connections. I feel like that's really what's going on. All right, our oracle reading for the week, the deck that we are pulling from is a favorite of mine. It's The Hero's Journey by Kelly Sullivan Walden, I think.
Yep.
Is that okay? I got it right. I typed in something when I was typing it into you today. I typed in something completely different, and I was like, "Oh boy, it's one of those days." I'm in the clouds. I'm in like an alternate universe or something where her name is different, or she married somebody different in her life. Oh, this is a great card.
Uh-oh.
And it's a 3. It's another 3.
Wow.
So we got the 3 of Swords, and now we have 30, which is a 3. Dream redirection. Redream the situation. God, I love this. Okay, so 3 of Swords. Rather than, it's kind of like what I was saying to you, rather than trying to solve a heart-based issue with the head or with the mind, with the ego and those thoughts, Now what we're going to do is we're going to dream. And where do we dream? We picture dreaming in our minds because we do fantasize and imagine sort of from this place, but that imagining really comes from the heart and the soul. And I feel like that's what this card, especially the colors, are representing. That we've got the beautiful yellow and the orange in the center. It's almost like a beautiful gold. So it represents our solar plexus and sacral chakra. And then when we're talking about the heart space, we've got the ocean here. We've got the green. We've also got green in looks like the sun and moon is kind of eclipsing a little bit. Definitely sort of an imagination, sort of a fantastical depiction of this. And then, of course, we have a little bit of the blue up here represented. And we were talking about wearing blue or connecting with the energy of blue. So dream redirect. It is time for us to really get clear, especially when we're going through some of this stuff, to be able to say, what do I want this purposeful connection to look like? What do I want to get out of this connection? What would make it purposeful for me? Where do I see myself in 3 years from now? Where do I see the world 3 years from now? This is not from a fear-based place. This is from a, what do I want to see? What is it that I would thrive? What environment would I thrive in? You know, where all beings are happy and free, right? Happy and healthy and free. Whatever that is for you, you want to take some time this week to really redirect the dream. And I always think about lucid dreaming when I pull this card, because if you've ever had that opportunity to kind of take over your dream, that's what this card is suggesting. Only it's saying, do it in reality, do it in your waking state. So when you're seeing something that isn't going quite your way, or you're not feeling really good about it, or you're concerned about it and you want things to change for the betterment of, you know, of all involved, redirect the dream using your imagination, using your heart space to really tap into what it is that you love, that you truly love, why you're here on the planet, to be that being of love, or to be a soul-based person, to add light to everyone's life, to be an empowering force in everyone's life, to be a soft place to land, whatever it happens to be for you. You want to take some time to really redirect what we're seeing out in the world, and you're going to redirect it energetically into a vision that's going to work better for you. And you're going to use the color blue to solidify it, or to seal it in, sealing in all the work. So we are very hoobity flute this week. I'm sorry, that's just how it's coming through. And again, the 3 is that creation space. So we're being invited to really recreate or create anew what we are wanting to see in our world. What I'm talking about right now is manifestation, but I'm talking about it. I feel like what the dream team is really trying to convey is that sometimes we think about manifestation, we think of it in terms of it's somehow separate from us, like we compartmentalize it a bit, and we think it, we feel it, we let it go. Okay, it's gone. And that's exactly how you're supposed to do it. This is a little more involved. It's saying we got to get into the cellular level of things. You know, we got to get into that sort of that DNA. A lot of what is transpiring on the planet right now is happening because we have to get rid of a lot of the old structures, right? And we have to bring things to light in order to change them, to fix them, to heal them, to, you know, to do what needs to be done. So it needs to be acknowledged, and it needs to be something that you're going to shift in that DNA space in your body. So it's deeper layers and levels. And when I'm talking about DNA, this is cellular memory. So, you know, if you believe in past lives, we've lived many lifetimes. We have many overlays or imprints of some pretty horrible atrocities that have gone on the planet, right? So this is kind of ingrained in us. We've had this, you know, sort of oppressive type system on the planet for some time, and that is changing and shifting. So we need to go to that deeper level within our bodies, within that feeling state, to bring all of that to light so that we can redream the dream in our waking state, bringing that to reality and removing some of that from the cellular memory releasing it out into the world so that it can transmute. And now we are replacing it with a new dream and a new vision.
Do you that card, Amethyst, I hope I say that right. The blue shape looks like a face looking downward.
Oh, I love that.
Look at the card. It looks like it.
Yes, it does. It's like the sun and the moon kind of through a little bit of an eclipse, but you're right. It's looking down. So if we talk about it from that perspective as well, I feel like, and this has been coming up, I wrote about this, I think, just a couple of days ago, the sun and the moon. So the light of the sun is very much about truth. It exposes everything. The light of the moon is things aren't always what they seem. You see it from a particular vantage point. There's still light. The light of the moon is light. It just casts a gentler light on it. Things aren't always as clear. You have to get right up close to it to really understand it. And the moon is that intuitive space. The sun is very yang, very action oriented, and the moon is very yin, sort of receptive and coming in. So I feel like it's interesting that we're feeling this sort of, or witnessing this face looking down. It's the man in the moon, right? The person in the moon, the human in the moon. I feel like it's an invitation that our intuition is observing what is going on, and it's up to us to invite the intuition to come in and shed its light on the dream, the new dream, bringing that, the dream into the waking state. So that's a beautiful observation, Amethyst. I love that. And you're right. It really does look like there's somebody looking down on us. That's very, very cool. That's why I love these cards too. Like there's a lot of, it's not impressionist art, but it's the hero's journey. So there's a lot of dream-ish type stuff, fantastical energy, which I think is really cool. All right, let's pull our feather for the week and see what the, I want to say the clarifying message is there from our dream team. Dance your story. So whenever I get dance your story, it's really an indication that we need some movement, lots of movement. So what we've been talking about here has been a lot of heart-related stuff, and we want to shift up the energy. And it is on a pink feather, which is connected to the heart chakra. So heart chakra is green and pink. And pink is that unconditional love, self-care, self-compassion, and self-forgiveness piece. So dancing your story. And it's interesting that we're talking about the dream redirect. So redream the situation, rewrite the story, dance the story, step into the movement of the story. Where do you want to see the world? You've got to move in that direction in order to be able to create it. So dance, be free, connect in those ways and be free. I'm also feeling like when I'm looking at the sort of the pink of it all, this card is, or this feather, sorry, not card, this feather is very much like a dusty rose. And I feel like that's an image that's been coming up a lot lately too, is the rose really being connected to the heart. So I'm hearing a message that for those of you who like to work with essential oils, working this week with a little bit of rose oil on your pillow, or taking a rose oil or rose petal bath, walking through a rose garden. All of these things I feel are going to make a big difference in helping you to bring the dream into the waking state, and to when we're dancing, we're moving fairly quickly, right? Or you might be moving slowly and more sensually, but there's definitely movement. I feel like this is saying the energy, the movement and the flow of energy moving forward is happening, but to capitalize on that, you want to be intentional about it, about getting in there and, dance to the beat of your own drum. You can definitely do whatever you want to do, but whatever steps you're taking, whatever movement you're taking, it's going to accelerate that dream that you're bringing into reality. So that's really cool. Using rose to help you with that. All right, Keone. Let us move on to the
grab your decks.
Woohoo!
You know what? You missed an opportunity. Dance your story was your chance to say shake your booty, and you missed shake your booty.
Shake your booty. Shake your booty. There you go. I took advantage of it.
All right.
I'm a little under energized today. I'm not really sure what that's all about. I guess we can't always be sunshine and daisies all the time. I'm actually having a great day. So I don't know why my energy is so low, but you're right. I should have taken advantage of that and I didn't. All right, so I'm going to go into my happy place right now and come up with a couple of questions for us to ask to bring this message into the individual, sort of more individualized. And Keone, you take it over from here while I'm doing my thing.
All right. While she's doing her thing, I will do my thing. As usual, thank you for our loyal weekly returning watchers. Try Red, Chris D. Welcome, Amethyst. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I am terrible with names. And of course, Ragu. And we have Ragu and Terry in the backstage waiting to come on live. So that's great. Try Red has given us his card pulls for the week as usual. So we'll get those reds. Also, remember, if you are not subscribed, because we notice a large percentage of our watchers are not subscribed, that helps us out a lot. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification button so that you can see other things that are posted on the Black Feather Intuitive YouTube page. And we all know that Demystify the Divine is every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern. It's always going to be every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern. I cannot do anything else. Stacy will not allow it. You know, it was my mother's birthday and she said, nope, it's 12 p.m. See your mother later. No, she didn't do that. But
what did I not do? What am I not allowing? I finished my question on like, what did I
Ears went up. I heard my name. What was that?
It's like the cat ears are like, That's so funny. All right. So
if you want to jump right to them after the questions, that would be good.
Yeah, that sounds great. So because we have so many people that are participating, which I love, I'm going to not pull my cards today and we're just going to go right to your cards. So the first card, the first question that we're going to pull a card for is, what energy can we connect with to help us with our meaningful and purposeful connections this week? So it's important for us to connect with the energy that we need in order to make our connections purposeful, right? So we're going to check into that. And then the second card pull is, what card will help us to dream? And when I say dream, I don't necessarily mean this is, help us to dream while we're sleeping. It's that I'm dreaming my vision into reality. So what is the card energy that is going to help us to dream? So who have we got up?
We've got a posted read from Tri-Red. I got Page of Pentacles and Two of Pentacles. He pulled two pentacles.
I love that, Tri-Red. Okay, so loving the pentacles. First of all, this week, it's really important that you focus on what's right in front of you in the tangible, in the now, in the physical. And I'm hearing that you kind of want to do a review of what is working in your space versus what is not working in your space. This is very much the physical stuff. So you're going to be looking at I want to say looking at your house or your apartment, looking at your living space. Are there things that need to go away? Are there things that are old and not working for you and you need to bring something new into the mix? What are you doing in terms of your connections with others in how you are fostering those connections into the now, into the physical? So pentacle energy really brings, it's like the dream that has come to life. It's the manifested idea that is now here in the world. So the energy that you can connect with to help you with your meaningful connections this week, Page of Pentacles is really, I feel like for you, it's about learning what is going to work in your environment on a physical level. Pentacles also represent health and wealth. And I feel like there's some stuff coming up there for you as well in terms of health. And I feel like it's mental health in terms of, how do I clear away the clutter in my mind, that causes the monkey mind, right? It's that Three of Swords where we have so much stuff going around in our head that we're just like I got to get it out, make it stop, right? So for you, it's making those purposeful or those meaningful connections by understanding that there are things that need to be shifted in your physical space in order to be able to bring that dream to life. And then what card will help us to dream? So talking about the dream, you got the Two of Pentacles, which I absolutely love. And the Two of Pentacles is all about resource. resource and balance. So we can say it's making choices, making decisions, but I'm hearing for you, it's resource. So it's really looking at, are the resources that are around me supporting what it is that I need to do? Are they supporting this new dream? Are they providing room and space for me to bring something new into the mix? So that's what you really want to be focusing on this week is clearing out, I want to say, old notions or old ideas that have not fully come to fruition. You got to clear all of that out and start from scratch so that you can manifest and dream into your world the vision that you have for your world and the your environment, your personal world, and then the global world as well. So resources, are the resources that I have around me helping me, or do I need to get some new resources? Do I need to focus on that? So that's really interesting. Thank you for submitting those. I love that. Absolutely love that. And the pentacle energy, the page and the twos, you're also like at the beginning stages. So you're at the beginning of something new. So embrace it from that beginning space. Don't think you have to have all your ducks in a row in order to make something happen. Just step in and take those steps and move forward. Who's next?
All right, we have the wonderful Ragu. Ragu is here with us today. She's going to be on audio. The camera is not working.
Ragu, gotcha. Hi, Ragu. How you doing?
Hi, Stacy. Hi, Keone.
Hello.
What's going on in your world today?
So I'm pulling from Divine Feminine, Megan Watterson.
Oh, I love that deck. Great choice. So your first poll is, what energy can we connect with to help us with our purposeful connections this week?
Right. I pulled Mary Magdalene, the apostle to the apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine.
And I got to tell you, I was talking about Rose, and she's connected to the rose. We were talking about the rose feather. So that's the direct message for you from Ascended Master Mary Magdalene coming into you to really connect with her energy this week. So what do you notice on the card? What is the thing that you're drawn to the most on the card?
The serenity in her face. That is the striking feature in the card. She is beautiful, obviously, but the serenity in her face.
So that's a really significant word to use, is serenity. Serenity is that it's kind of a combination of surrender and peace, right? All at the same time. Right. And I feel like for you, that's the energy you want to connect with, is that serene energy. It's the energy of, I'm surrendered to what is so that I can bring peace into my now. And in order to do that, all connections, or when you do that, all connections will be purposeful, because you're also going to be sharing, expressing, offering an example to those that you're connecting with what that looks like. And I feel like you're going to have two particular incidents where someone is not, you're going to be connecting with people and they're not going to have an understanding, or an awareness of what serenity is. And you're going to be a living example for them. It's not that you're going to be using words necessarily to do that. You're going to be showing it as an example, and it's going to be your energy that they're going to connect with, and they're going to walk away understanding serenity. And that's a beautiful gift. So I love that for you. Your second card pull, what card will help us to dream? So what card will help you to dream this week?
I got Enhe Duana. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. The High Priestess. I am one with my soul, and the soul is a legacy of love.
I love that. I'm not sure how to pronounce it either. So you're doing better than I am. So what's going to help you to dream is the legacy of love. And it's interesting. I always talk about love as frequency, not as feeling. And I feel like that's really important for you this week, is to connect with the frequency of love in the dream state and bringing that energy into the waking state. So how many people have experienced this before? And Ragu, I'm sure you're not alone in this, where you dream and it feels so amazing and so wonderful, and you wake up with just this peace, this harmony, this like zest for life and just so excited. And then you come into the waking world and you're like, oh, well, this is sad. Like, I know for me, when I have flying dreams, I fly, I feel so at home. And then when I come in back into the body and I realize that I can't really fly, like unless I get
Right.
it's devastating, right? So I feel like for you, the card that's going to help you to dream is that feeling of the love that we float into, the frequency of love that we float into in the dream. Your challenge this week is to bring that feeling into the waking world so that you can make it tangible in your waking state, not only the dream state. And I'm hearing that you're going to have a couple of opportunities to actually be able to put that into practice.
Okay.
Be prepared for that. And what I would say to you as well is, I mean, I recommend this for a lot of people. Keep a dream journal by your bed if you aren't already doing that, so you can jot down a couple of things. But mostly what you want to do with these dreams this week is you want to encapsulate the feeling that you have. It's almost euphoric, right? And you want to be able to see how you can harness that energy and that feeling and see how long you can make it last into your waking moments. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you. And she has such a first thing that comes to my mind when I see her is she has such a powerful gaze.
Beautiful.
Lot of power in her gaze. It's not menacing or threatening or anything, but it is just the power.
So like strength, like when you look at her, you feel her
Yeah.
strength. Yeah. So use that when you're tapping into the dreams and being intentional about that. Use that to, I want to say, what I'm visualizing is this beautiful singing bowl, like a Tibetan singing bowl, and it's strong, it's solid, and it can hold the frequency of love that goes into it. So I feel like use that strength, that power that you're seeing in the card, use that to hold the energy that you're going to be trying to encapsulate and trying to harness. The strength is going to be the container for it.
Thank you very much, Stacy. Thank you, Keone.
Absolutely. Sending you lots of love. All right, who's next?
All right, we have the amazing and wonderful Terry Ferguson.
Oh, yay! We get to see you in person here. Well,
Camera, it's retrograde. You told me retrograde was over, or it was going to be over soon, and apparently it is extended.
Yes, we're still in shadow.
A bunch of camera issues today, but they are here for audio, so we're good to go.
Awesome. Well, Terry, thank you so much for being willing to come on live. How are you today?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me all right?
Well, I think you answered all the questions in the very beginning, and it's just amazing. You're kind of right on. Yeah, a little bit of backstory. I'm kind of living my what you would call Phoenix Rising out of nowhere. Just my intuition. I left my dream job of 20 years, and I'm selling my dream home, and it's kind of. I'm at the point right now of fighting what I know and what my ego's trying to tell me, and my relationship and his fear. And anyway, so I have pulled my cards. I have no idea what we're doing after we sell. That's where everybody thinks I'm crazy. So
right.
I'm waiting for it. I'm just waiting for it to present itself. So maybe you can help me here.
Oh, absolutely. So before you sort of pull your cards, thanks for sharing that. And yeah, it's interesting that you're using the word dream, and dream has been coming up today. It's like, okay, I'm letting go of the dream job, and I'm letting go of the dream house, and major shifts are happening because it's about redreaming the dream. It's about recognizing that, okay, I've had this dream. I've existed in this particular chapter, and now I'm ready for the next dream, the next chapter, and the next adventure is kind of how I would describe that. The what to do after the house sells piece, what I keep seeing is you want to be free bird. You don't necessarily want to be, I want to say, settling down or locking yourself into trying to buy a home or anything. I see you being kind of vagabond, kind of nomad for a while. So maybe put some of your stuff into storage, maybe rent an RV, go around the country, or maybe you're just, let's go stay at an Airbnb here this month. And then next month, we're going to travel to this place. And then we're going to travel to this place. I feel like for you, it's really important to get rid of, I want to say a lot of the 3D responsibility, because you have carried a lot for a long, long time. And your soul is wanting to come out and say, no, it's not really about responsibility anymore. It's about reconnecting with myself, my dreams, my goals, my heart space. And in order to do that, I need to be out in nature. I need to see more of the world. I need to get out of this sort of beautiful box that I've been living in that has served me well, that I've now outgrown. And that's a big aspect. So I want to say to you, consider being a little more nomadic. So there are so many opportunities today to be able to, travel the world and do different things, from the RV. And there's, you can work from these places. There's Wi-Fi everywhere. There's a way to do it all. So I feel like for you, it's giving yourself some time to be able to think outside of that box, to think really broadly and say, how can we make this work? Let's, if the sky's the limit, let's really just put everything out on the table. Nothing is too crazy, and let's just examine it and see. And that's how we dream in many ways. Is dreams are fragmented. We get little snippets of this, that, and the other thing, and it kind of doesn't make sense. But when you're in it, it makes total sense. But then to explain it afterwards, it's all over the place. This is laying all of those snippets kind of out on the table and saying, ooh, this looks nice with this one. And oh, I like this. I've never even thought that I could do this on a regular basis. Let's throw a little bit of that in, and let's grab this piece from over here. So this is another analogy I've been using a lot lately too. It's like putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, but it doesn't mean that he has to be in the same order. The whole purpose is to reinvent, revision. And I feel like that's really what you're stepping into right now. Does that kind of resonate the way I'm explaining it?
It says exactly what I'm doing. July 1st, all of my stuff's going into storage and I'm packing our motorhome. But when you said reinvent, that was a question I had. In our life cycles, I've recreated myself every 21 years. And I woke 2 days ago realizing this is 21 years. Does that mean something? Or
yes. And it's so funny that you're saying it, because I just had a realization about that myself. I go through an interesting cycle. Mine is 10 every 10 years, which is so funny. And it just dawned on me a couple of weeks back. So
yeah, that's what happened to me too.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
So what that means for you is that you, in essence, you live different chapters of your life in that 21-year cycle. And 21 is pretty significant because it breaks down to the number of 3. And we got 3s today, right? So again, it's that, okay, I'm going to reinvent, because it's the energy of recreation. You didn't come here on this planet to do the same thing for, 60 years and then you retire, and then, a couple of years later you die, which is how it kind of happened
right
back in the day, right? People always worked so hard, and then they'd work for retirement, and then they would die a few years later because there was so much stress or they didn't take care of themselves. This is a very different world. We don't have to do that. That is something of the past. And so for you, it's always about consistent recreation. But for you, it's 21 years gives you a significant amount of time to get done in that chapter what you want to get done. Right. So you're a person that has that laundry list of things that you want to do, or maybe we can call it the bucket list. And within that 21 years, you always are able to get it done. And so this is that next phase of it. And hubby will get over himself when you guys are actually out and about and he's recognizing that you're surviving and everything is good.
Right.
It's going to take him a little while to adjust and adapt. But I feel like he really wants to go the extra mile with you. He wants to be in it to win it. And he doesn't want to be a Debbie Downer or a spoil sport about it. But he also is a bit limited in his ability to see outside of the box. So that's part of why you guys are together. You're the one who holds the vision and he will follow. He doesn't like to think that he's following you. That's a different story, but he will get there. So just be confident in your path I don't want to say be condescending to him and they're there, but you can hear him out, and you can then just really reinforce that, well, this is how great it's going to be. And just watch, watch me create this. Trust me. You trust me, so trust me. Here's what we're doing. So that's great. What cards did you pull?
Well, I'm pulling from the Angel Tarot cards, the Valentine.
Okay. Yeah. Radley Valentine.
Yes. And so, Valentine, sorry. And the first card was the 4 of fire or wands.
Yep. 4 of wands. That's beautiful. So what energy can you connect with to help you with your purposeful connections this week? So the 4 of wands is really a card of celebration. It's a card of establishing new foundations. They call it the marriage card in tarot. So that's very interesting as well. And in that, if you think about it, it's like moving from, it's like the marriage as in the day of the wedding. So it's like the day of the ceremony. So it's signifying the end of one way of being as a couple and the beginning of a new way of being as a couple, sort of building your life together. And of course, it doesn't always mean couple stuff. It can also mean, the blending of the divine masculine and feminine. But in your situation, I feel like this is really what it's about, is recognizing that, this is a new beginning and we are creating a new foundation. We are establishing something new here, but it's joyous. It doesn't have to be trepidatious. It's joyous. It's a ceremony and people are going to be celebrating it. And we're going to go off and we are going to have amazing adventures. And we're going off into the sunset. Whatever that looks like for us, it's an adventure and we're doing it together.
Yes.
So I feel like that's the focus for you.
Exactly. There. Yes. Okay.
The second card.
The second card is the 8 of Earth, or is that Pentacles?
Yep, that's Pentacles. So tell me what you see on the card.
I see it looks like an angel sitting and reading in a beautiful forest with mountains in the back, very colorful, and then a stack of books right in front of him. And it says, skilled work is rewarded, learning all there is to know about a topic, going back to school. And ironically, I have been I've been drawn by my angels, and so I have started Kyle Gray's angel courses. So
I love him. He's awesome.
And I just really feel like that's kind of a direction that I'm being pulled in, even though I don't know what the heck it means,
Oh yeah, no, you're along for the ride.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you to go to the stack of books. I want you to pick out a book.
Okay.
I want you in your mind, or it could be something you're hearing or just sort of what you're visualizing. I want you to open the book to the 8th page, and I want you to read what your message is.
It's bringing me back to being 17 and reliving what I had dreamed back then.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful. So is there an element of that dream that you can carry forth into this new dream that you're creating?
To be, like you said in the beginning, the freedom to not be the responsible one, not having the burdens, to just be carefree and see where it leads me.
So that is your dream direction.
Right.
That's what that is going, okay, I've lived all of these other dreams and now I'm revisiting and I'm dumping the responsibility, right? I'm done with it and I'm going to move forward and live my life with more purpose towards the joy and the adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful, Terry.
Yeah. I just got to quit listening to the ego trying to make me scared.
Well, and you know what? I mean, isn't that, I would say it's all of our issues, that ego voice can get, I joke about it. It's the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. And
Right.
we have to stop giving into it. It's like we need to be that parent that says, okay, you can do what you want to do, scream on the floor, cry, do whatever. When you're exhausted and tired out, then we talk, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, because I don't have another 21 years to wait to do this again. So
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Well, I wish you lots of luck and love with this adventure. And, don't let the naysayers get into your brain. see it more as a thank you for your loving opinion, and your opinion and a couple bucks gets me a cup of coffee.
Thank you.
What it gets me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Take care.
All right, then we have Kim. First card was the Fool, so she pulled the card that looks like me, if you need the description. And the second one was the Magician.
Oh, so you got the 0 and the 1, Kim. So that's amazing. You're definitely this week very much in the energy of newness. And the Fool card is beautiful because it's literally that I'm packing light. I'm, taking the carry-on. I've kind of closed my eyes on a map and gone and opened it and said, okay, that's where I'm going. And, let's do this. So there's a real energy of truly the adventure. And it's a blind, in many ways, it's a blind leap of faith that you're taking, but you're not carrying all the baggage around it. There's no fear in taking that leap forward. So what energy can you connect with to help you with those purposeful connections this week? It's really about saying, I have no tie or connection or attachment to anything right now. Everything is new and fresh to me. So all of these purposeful connections, the purpose comes in the, what am I going to learn from this that's new? What am I going to take from this experience that is going to show me a different path along this new journey or this new adventure that I am taking? And the Magician is amazing. What card will help you to dream? Well, the Magician is like, he has all the resources at his fingertips, and no matter what you hand him, he's able to make it work. So I feel like for you, what card is going to help you to dream? It's understanding that no matter what comes into your view, you will have the way to be able to take it and combine it in your life to actually make it work for you in the positive. And that includes anything that comes into your space that is a little more on the negative side, or you're kind of looking at it and feeling into it and going, okay, I'm a little uncomfortable by this. I don't like this, or I want to figure out what's next or how this can shift things up. This card is going to help you to dream the outcome, like it's happening for me now because I'm going to be here eventually. And that's what I want to hang on to is, okay, I'm on this adventure. I don't know exactly where I'm going to go, but this is the feeling that I want to experience when I get there. And that's what I'm hanging on to. I also feel like for you, it's important this week that you really kind of dive in and make a concerted effort to talk to your dream team before you go to bed and say, I want to have some really powerful dreams that are giving me clear messages. I want to dream about this person, or I want to dream about this angel, or I want to dream about this energy. And I want to wake up remembering all of it so that I get the messages. So I feel like there's some intention that needs to happen there. You need to ask for what you need before you go to sleep and dream, because what's happening is you're receiving a lot of information, you're waking up, and then you're not able to connect the dots. You're feeling like, oh, there's something I'm supposed to know, but I can't quite grasp it. This is going to help you with the grasping of it. So I hope that makes sense. Thanks so much for submitting your question.
All right, awesome. And then our last one for today is Amethyst. And please tell me how to pronounce that, because I think I said it right.
It's just like the crystal, the beautiful purple crystal. Amethyst Dragonfire. I love her name on her.
Awesome. They have the Sun and the 9 of Pentacles.
Oh, this is a fabulous reading. Okay, so the Sun is the energy that you need, which has purposeful connections. The Sun is the light of truth. So all of your connections need to be truthful and honest. And some of your connections are going to be highlighting what you see, highlighting the truth of what you see. So you are going to be the sun in your conversations, and you're going to be highlighting what is in our now, what is in our reality. And I find that's interesting because we're also talking about dreams and bringing the dream into the reality. Sometimes you have to reveal the bullshit that you're seeing in the reality in order to clear it through so that you can then bring in the good stuff. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of that. Not to say that you're like, pulling punches and, doing all sorts of crazy stuff out there with people. But I do feel that the words that you use, or even your energy, when someone goes to talk to you and they're about to give you a line of crap, they stop and realize, no, can't do that with this person. I'm just going to be honest. I have to be honest. So you are going to be, I want to say, what's the word? Inviting honesty, not triggering. Anyway, you're picking up what I'm putting down. You're bringing it. You're bringing it out in people, is that honesty. And then the 9 of Pentacles is awesome. So 9 of Pentacles is that card of, all right, like the harvest is in. We had a great harvest this year. Look at what we are surrounded in. Let's celebrate. This is joyful. This is satisfaction. This is knowing that all the hard work that we put into this came to fruition. And let's celebrate it. Let's acknowledge it. So what card will help you to dream? It's dreaming about that. Dreaming about okay, I got what I set out to achieve. I've arrived and I need to acknowledge that. This is the card that says you need to stop and smell the roses. Now, I talk about this a lot too. Sometimes we are so goal focused that we're so focused on reaching this that by the time we actually reach it, we don't have time to stay around and enjoy it. We're on to the next goal because we get so caught up in the pursuit of it, right? Rather than, no, I've arrived. Let me just sit here and chill for a minute. Let me take in the roses, right? Let me take in the fresh scent of the roses and the sun on my face and the breeze and the freedom or the peace, the relaxation in what's going on. So that's really going to help you with the dreaming, is to step into that energy of what does it feel like to have achieved what I have been setting out to achieve. This may be in the form of dreaming or manifestation, where you're looking at, this is what I'm going to feel like in the future, or it's an invitation for you to recognize, wow, you've been driving yourself a lot. Why are you driving yourself? Let's stop and see what you've all accomplished and take a moment to celebrate those accomplishments. That's going to help you to bring that dream into reality. Thank you so much for submitting those. Those are great. I love them.
All right. Awesome, Stacy. Those are our readings for today. A wonderful Monday. This is the first Monday in June, right?
It is, I believe.
So we're getting it started off right. We've had a lot of people watching today. Please make sure that if you are new, get into those links. We try to do the live ones first and then get our trusty, loyal weekly watchers in via the chat. We will try to get as many of those in the chat as possible, but it's always great to see you guys online so we can take in the beauty of the cards. If you don't have cards, of course, Stacy will pull one for you. I'm stumbling over my words today. I don't know what's going on.
It's all right. I'm in the same boat, so it must be in the air.
Must be that happy, overly happy birthday week of mine.
Yes. Well, and so Keone's birthday is Wednesday. So let's wish him a very, very happy birthday and a peaceful week.
Yes, I'll be 23 on Facebook. All right.
I love it. I know. I always say I'm forever 30. I'm forever 30. That's just the way it is. I'm forever 30. So
Wonderful.
Care, guys, have the most amazing week. If you want to connect with me this week, check out my website, The Black Feather Intuitive. Check out Facebook. Or Insta, The Black Feather Intuitive. Would love to connect there in any way that you have need. I do a lot of readings. I offer a lot of services, and keep those ears peeled and those eyes peeled. I'm going to be announcing some new exciting membership opportunities that I'm really pumped about. Doing all the work to prepare those now. So can't wait to share that all with you guys. Take care, and we'll see you next Monday. Ciao.